What we do here is go back.
All right. So, oh man, I missed the outro. It don't even matter right now. uh. So, hey everybody, this is Kim McCall. I am the director, producer, and what's the other one? Director, producer, and composer of this show. And this is CT time. Sorry about, the lateness on starting. There was a little rough stuff happening, but now we're here and now we're ready, right? Yeah, all right. So today we are talking about capitalism, socialism, and communism. Choose an extreme. And who we have today are guest speakers Caleb, who you see on the webcam right up there, and then Lamont. Sorry, no, not Pretty Boy Money. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, his name is Pretty Boy Money. Yeah, he's a rapper. But these two guys have been doing their studies, and they're going to let you know about capitalism and socialism. We also have a few audio clips from a call that I had talking to a guy about communism. He will just be able to answer all the questions I have. Reasons we're bringing up this subject is because there's a lot of shifts happening, in this country lately. Not even politics we're talking about. This is just in general. A lot of people are saying, we shouldn't do this anymore. We shouldn't do that anymore. Try and change up the ways of how society has been working for the past decade. We'll just say decade. Right. Yeah. And, because of that, we are seeing also a shift in our economical beliefs. As America was once, almost completely capitalist, all of a sudden, we're switching to more socialism nowadays, especially when Obama was in administration. He was trying to give us affordable health care and all that. They tried to debunk that, but that was, one start. Right. And then...
Okay, but at the same time, how do we say that's socialism when Obama was charging for that care?
Right. It was supposed to be affordable.
Right.
So,
right.
Depending on how our...
But it would be free for the people.
It would be.
So that's in the form of social, because we want everything to be free, and then we don't need no government or no president running it.
That's true.
So in that form, that's like a communism still.
Feel that way?
I feel that way because I feel like if it was free and not under no government branch or no president branch, it would be just straight for the people. And
right.
We are for the people.
Right. Well, I mean, it's just how some people see it.
Right.
That's why they didn't want it to happen anyways, because they really did think it was communism and such. Another thing, they're deleting a lot of our cartoons and songs. Just because, the Cold Outside song, if y'all heard about that.
The Cold Outside, who made that song?
I forgot. It's a really old song.
Wow.
But they were talking about, because it talks about raping, the woman, they want it completely gone. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
So, that's just, that's where we're heading right now. So.
Oh, okay. So, we still, as a country, is not going to look at the fact that you have preachers and Catholic people, all these type religions out here, right? I'm not saying everybody whose religion, but I'm saying your top priority people who got priorities in the churches raping kids. So
same thing with the celebrities. They're trying to ban all that too.
But at the same time, it's two different things. I mean, it's not two different things because everybody getting control no matter what. We still don't have no free will in our own country, I feel like. And I when I say in our own country, I say as in it was a time where it was your black Indians over here, and then your Europeans came over here, and they started controlling things. And before they came, we was in control of this country, and it weren't the way it was now.
Right.
And The way it's ran now is more for is the way they got this country is it's like it's not for the people. It's more for the higher ups, and we more
Right.
like the slaves.
That's a
So
way to look at it.
we don't have no people say we free, but we really not free at all.
Right.
Not in America. I feel like we not free in this country, right? Like,
I mean, you know, yeah, you can add
go
on.
ahead, go ahead.
Well, that's the thing with capitalism. It's freedom. It's for the freedom from people to work for each other.
Right.
Because with freedom, you got your own private business, and you got competition. That's the idea of capitalism. So you can compete with other people, but if your product's not doing as well as your competitors, people are going to go to the other guy. So you got to reamp your product and everything, and you got to, charge people a fair price, and charge your employees too a fair price. It'd be really slavery if we didn't pay them nothing at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
trying to get to the
But okay,
what is it?
our country always been under communism from the get go.
Let's see about that.
Cause,
Let's actually get to
okay.
Hmm.
When I was getting that, okay, when Europeans did come over here, we wasn't slaves as what they turn the slaves as in, oh, we got off a ship. No. Ain't nobody get off no ship or nothing like that. It was 200 Africans that did, but that's a whole nother story. What I'm saying is we had cotton pickers, and that was us. We was the cotton picker, and we was getting paid for this. We wasn't just out there, like he said, we wasn't working free, so we was getting paid for that. So that's why I say the country always been communism since they came. And I feel like now we going back into a time of socialism because it was before they came. Like everybody did have their free will at one time. And I feel like we have two different branch of governments that's running our country, right? And they taking, and like I said, we still to a point where we are working, but we working for a little and they getting more.
Okay.
And I feel like it should be more for the people than for the higher ups.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's actually where we're actually trying to get right now. So we're actually going to ask Lamont, since he already wanted to start off, what economical belief are you standing for?
Okay, so I'm standing for social because I feel like everybody should have their own rights to everything in this country. Even your land that you living on, you should be able to really own that land without people secretly going behind your back and taking your land on some. That's another conversation. But I'm saying, but we don't really have no rights in our own country. Like, we have laws that we have to abide by that I feel like we should go ahead and reform. Like, we should go ahead and redo them laws. And then I feel like we don't have no freedom because of the fact where, like, the police system, like, is this corrupted. And I feel like as the people, we should be able to choose to get that police out of there. Or if he did kill another man, because I don't want to say a black man, but it do happen to the black man more than it happened to other races. But if he do kill another man, as the people, we should be able to have a insight on what's going on, and we should be able to be a judge to get that man off the streets or get him locked up. Because we see that the system is not doing nothing about that. And that plays into like a whole nother, like, it's not no socials in that. Like, people don't have nothing to do with what's going on. We just people. We don't even have freedom in our own society.
All right.
And that's why I feel like As so, if we going back to a time in social, we should not have no government at all. I feel like we should not. We should be able to have freedom over everything. Everything that we don't have freedom, we should have rights to, and not them.
All right. So the topic is choose an extreme. If this country were ever to say, hey, we need to switch to an extreme, capitalism, socialism, or communism, pick one, you know, which one would you choose? So he's choosing socialism.
Right.
This guy up here is choosing capitalism, and he's going to explain why.
Well, I had to agree with Lamont, right?
Yes, sir.
That's your name, right? Yeah, Lamont. Okay. I had to agree with him with the whole like we should have like a smaller government, because obviously when government gets too big, it becomes more corrupt, obviously. And as you can tell, we have corrupt police systems and all that stuff, obviously. But with capitalism, like I said earlier, it's about the competitive. What if we had private-owned businesses of police force, and one police force of business is, like he was pointing that just killing black people. Well, we as people would be like, that's wrong, and we can drive them out of business. Eventually, the economics of systems will eventually fix that, where we have a police force that doesn't kill people based on their race or whatever, the income and all. And with capitalism, it gives everybody that that you could be rich. I mean, it's really America, put it out there, it's really one of the richest countries out there. And it's not like that by accident, because we have this capitalist system where people get rich. I mean, you get people like Bad Barbie, who really started off on the Dr. Phil show, and now she's pretty rich out there. You got, who else? Lil Peep and all that stuff. All these people, they're self-made people, and now they're rich. They started out with nothing, and now they're rich. And that's the great thing about communism, is that if you strive for something, you can get it, as long as you know how much you're worth.
Right,
Don't sell yourself short.
Okay. So, sadly, we don't have a guy here for communism, but I did have a talk with somebody Saturday about communism, and his own fundamental belief in it. And he's just going to explain to you what communism is to him and why he believes in it.
I feel like, as far as that goes, human beings already, well, at least from my experience, once again, I can only look at things from my viewpoint. People take their net worth and treat it as if it's their self-worth. So with that being said, I feel like how do I say? I feel like to a degree, I'm not going to say completely, but to a large degree, if everyone that did the same job made the same wage where they could live comfortably, you get a lot more decent human beings in the mix. Okay? Not only that, it's also because I see all the wasteful spending in this country. From the time that I was in the military till the time I started working, I can go back to when I was 16 years old with my first clock-in job, working at a restaurant and seeing all the food being thrown away. It's just so wasteful. So you could take this food, you could take this excess money that's being funneled into nothingness, into an abyss, into a void, so have you, and actually use it to bring other people who may be downtrodden and or disenfranchised and put them in a position where they can now work to achieve whatever it is they want. With that being said, I feel like everyone should be afforded the same opportunities, because people love to scream, oh, America's the land of the free, everyone can do whatever you want. No, because all the things that everyone wants to do, well, I'm not going to say all the things, the majority of things that people would like to pursue are behind a paywall. When you have money, you are afforded different opportunities. I'm sorry, but that's just a matter of fact.
All right, that was the communist explanation and such. So, on to the next question. Sorry. phone been acting slow for a second. So, what is the benefit of your belief? We're going to start off with capitalism first because you answered first last time. So, Caleb?
I'll say the benefits are good incentives, innovations, fairness, and the freedom to do business with individuals, consumer choice, and efficiencies of economics.
All right. And what's the benefit of your belief, Lamont?
I think if we cut all, let's say, if we cut the higher levels up, whoever they is, because I'm gonna say the Rothschilds and people like that. If we start cutting them out, and then start working down to the government, to a president, and start going back to our old ways and to like a natural, like going back to the like living back to. I can say, let me say, like living back to this having like unity. That's all we did. Like we just need to go back to our community and start believing into our community and stop believing in the corrupt system. Like, so that means I feel like if we do that, everybody will be, it'd be more safer. Everybody will be more, it'd be more money and then we won't have to worry about people coming into a community hurting or the killing, or and on top of that we won't need police because we own our own community. And with that being said, that means if we don't need no police, that would be perfect because we don't have no corruption at all. You see what I'm saying? So if we don't have like no government, no police, no Rockefeller, no nothing, and the money just split in half to everybody, or how they want to do it, write a check to everybody they want to give it, and just tell you how to get started and how to start a new lifestyle and stuff like that. That would be perfect because nobody want to be out here killing. It wouldn't be nothing. Wouldn't be no harm being done. We didn't cut that out because we don't have nothing that's over us no more. So,
all right.
So I feel like it'd be safer. Like the whole key thing is be safer, and we'll live a better and healthy lifestyle too. Cause the food need to be cut out too. That's another thing. So that food, that
that could be
food,
for another
that
topic.
need to be cut out too.
Right now we're just on
go.
economical beliefs.
Yeah.
But also we have an answer for communism as well in terms of the benefits. So bring that one up.
It just goes back to having everyone in a position where they can live comfortably and do as they please. Like if somebody decides, I want to be a brick mason, they're afforded the opportunity to go to school and pursue that dream. I just want everyone to live in a fashion where this is just me. I feel like my benefit to it, to answer it a little bit more concretely, would just to give people the opportunity to live and prosper in the way that they see fit. Long as you're just not a foul human being looking to get over on any and every person coming in contact with you. And unfortunately, capitalism promotes that.
Okay, so I know like these people are gonna have like probably a few disses here and there, but please, for the audience actually watching, please, do not be mad at any of these three people for having their beliefs and how the, society should go. Because, at the end of the day, it's a belief. We already have our settings, but if we ever have to switch, they chose their side. So that's just how it is. So for next question, this is the one where, you guys actually do get to do your little disses. So, please don't feel butthurt for anybody, that made like a good point, I should say. All right, so we can start off with you this time, Lamont.
Okay. So Okay, in the sense of this is what we mean by.
Just what do you think is foolish about capitalism and communism?
Ooh, it's a lot.
I mean, if you can't just put in, a few sentences.
We gonna make it short and fast, real fast. One of them is, I feel like we getting less than more, and I said that early with the government, being with not just the government, like having the boss and having that boss and you being the worker, like the situation that's going on right now, that is communism. That's how I feel we living in now, and I feel like that's kind of wrong. And on the other one, I just feel like I feel like they both kind of like in the same boat, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like only one that's really different from them is socialism. Like, cause I just feel like that's the only one that give people a chance. I feel like the other one don't give people, the other two don't give people no chance at all. No fair chance. I'm gonna say that, like, not in the disfair, but yeah, no fair chance. But I feel like socialism give them a way better chance of living. The other two, this like one we still living the way we living right now is communism. So that's how we living. So basically, if you like how you living the communism lifestyle right now. So if you like going to work and you getting told what to do by a boss, but even though he make more than you and he feel like I cut your check, so you should be happy that you working for me. Hey, welcome to what's going on. But if that's how I feel about them two, but I feel like they both similar in the same way. Like, I don't feel like them two. I feel like only one different is socialism. I feel like that's the only one different. Well, I feel like, yeah, that's how I basically feel like them two the same, but socialism the only one that's different from them. Like, I feel like you get your freedom, and I feel like that's all people want is freedom more than anything. I don't even think, to be honest, let me just say this too. I don't even think people even care about the money no more. Cause we done been, you go to work every day. You go to work every day, Monday through Friday. You go do your hours. Some people probably make up to $8 to $20 without no high school. I'm gonna say without high school education, without no college degree. So I'm gonna say it like that. So with that being said, is you tired of doing that? Like, do you want to go back to the nature of laws, like the nature, like how, like it might sound crazy, but how the Indians was living, like free of charge, everything was free. That the apples, the fruit, everything was free at one point of a time. That's what I'm saying. Like, we should go back to that time. That's the time that we need to be in. I feel like that's like a healing process for us. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all go. Yeah, but that's how I feel. Like we need to be. That's how we could be equal again. If we go back to this having stuff free and not stressing, working, and you see what I'm saying? Like American people are under stress right now, living the communism laws.
All right. Well, Caleb, what do you think?
All right. With socialism, I mean, you see other countries try socialism out, and it obviously leads to disarray. I mean, you can look at Venezuela. It was one of the richest countries in Latin America with the biggest oil deposit ever. But the problem was they relied on that oil too much, and if you were talking to an investor about investing all your product into one thing, it's obviously it will crash, and that's what happened in 2014. The oil market crashed, and Venezuela is now just in complete disarray now, and that was probably like the closest thing we have to a socialist country. But why it doesn't work, you can say, is like because you don't own your own work, you don't own your own time, you don't even own your own freedom. You're technically working for a government or for the people, as you could say, but sometimes you're working for something that you don't even want to work. A problem with Venezuela was they ran out of toilet paper because nobody didn't want to work at a toilet paper factory. I mean, we got garbage men here in America. The reason why people work as a garbage man is because we pay them
higher, you know. But another time, it's just the economic system that they use is not utilizing the money, the financial calculations, or even the market pricing. We'll be unable to effectively value capital goods and coordination products. Therefore, socialism is impossible because it lacks the necessary information to perform economic calculations in the first place.
All right, all right. Now, we also have one for the communist answer as well.
I'm not going to say they're foolish. I'm not, because I'm not the person to try to pry someone away from their belief. I can tell you why I disagree with it. Once again, I disagree with capitalism for the fact it creates a very cutthroat mentality in people. It does. It creates an environment in a business sense where you cannot trust anyone. You can't share any sort of knowledge for fear of it's going to be taken from me, capitalized upon, i.e. capitalism is going to be capitalized upon, and I will reap no more benefit than I have from it. Because like they say, the only thing the white man ever invented was a patent office. Like, as twisted as that is, like, that's real. If I can prove on paper that this is mine and you can't take it from me, then you kind of stuck. As for socialism, once again, I feel like it can potentially promote laziness and sloth, which is in any human being, in my opinion, is just unbecoming.
All right. Now, that would have been, technically the last question. But, since we have like a little amount of time left, I can ask one more question for you guys. So, what we're asking you guys is, why do people think that your economical belief is foolish? Now, was that Caleb that I asked last time for the last question? I asked you. Okay, so Caleb, you get the answer this time.
Well, I guess the problems with capitalism, as you can say, it's monopoly. If the government doesn't control businesses and stuff like that and shut out other competitions, you can eventually get a monopoly. We had that, what's it called? Microsoft got sued because they were monopolizing on their product and everything. Nothing else could get through, which eventually that's where iPhones and Samsungs came in place. Inheritance, somebody who's rich and everything dies and passes all to their kids. Well, in a capitalist system, that shouldn't be allowed because, you got to work for everything you earn. So obviously inheritance is a bad thing. And plus government influence, I understand if you have the big money, you can influence government's choices. My thing is, if you want to do that, you should be transparent. Why are you giving this politician all this money? And you should just tell the people straightforward why you're giving this money. That way people can choose, well, I don't want to support that candidate anymore because he supports that company, which I don't like, or so-and-so.
All right. Now, Lamont, why do people think your socialism is foolish?
Because they feel like we have to work. And they feel like we don't work, like your man said on there, we'll be lazy. And they feel like it will not work. Like he said, that happened in Venezuela. But other than that, yeah, I mean, you got people who's like, if you getting paid off of something, why take it away? And that's communism. Like, if you the top dog, why push yourself below? You see what I'm saying? Like, so people is not gonna they not gonna put themselves on the level as us. You see what I'm saying? So if they not go, they don't want to be equal to us. So there will never be a social world, a socialist world. You see what I'm saying? Like, it never do that, because the higher ups will never put themselves on the same level with us, and we will never get the money that they at. You see what I'm saying? So, as that being said, it never worked, because it would never, and nothing would never be equal in this world. Like nothing, like nobody ain't nothing will be equal, and we will always have to keep working, and we will always be. I feel like we will always be slaves to communism. Like that's how I feel. I feel like socialism. We would never ever get socialism in this world like how we want it to be, and that's everything equal, and we will never get nothing equal in this world.
All right, now we have one more for the communists. Why people think communists is dumb.
I really feel that's just more so of lack of understanding. I feel like a lot of people just hear the word communism and they immediately back away from like, oh, Russia's communist. I was taught in school that we went to war to fight against communism. That's true, we did, but the thing is, they never really taught us, and I still don't really know. Well, I have an ideal but I don't have a concrete understanding of why we actually went to war for quote unquote, well, against quote unquote communism. The ideal that I have is really just more so of protecting the American interest or whatever country's interest that had an issue with it at the time. It's like, okay, well, you're doing that, and that's not good for me making money over here, so let me go ahead and put a plug in that real quick. But it's just like any idea. People fear what they don't understand.
It's like he let her. Um,
Okay.
I feel like, let me just say this. I feel like in America, we always being lied to. We always being lied to. And that right there, I feel like we need to first get this out the way. Like I feel like the religion was forced on us, and that's why I say we don't have no equal rights because we don't. I feel like people was forced in religion. People was forced to live a European lifestyle, and I feel like and
Stay on subject.
yeah, I know, I am. But listen, there's communism. But listen, okay, European, because listen, we live in the same way they live in. So they always live this communism lifestyle. Like that's how Europeans always live. So when they came over here, we had to live the same lifestyle. We had to live the same culture. Like that's why I say social, because we was free. And no, we wasn't lazy over here at the time. We wasn't no lazy folks. We went to go hunt. We had our own food. We had our own tribes. We had our own chiefs. Like this is stuff that we had, and this is why I say we being lied to, because we never came off no boat. We never came off no boat, and we was peaceful people. We wasn't no killing like that until they came over here, and not just Europeans, your Spaniards, your French. All these people came over here and they captured our land that was Turtle Island at one point of a time, and it was a socialist land before it became a communist land, and we wasn't working for no money. We was surviving. We was living to survive, and we need to go back to that time. That's what we need. We live in a time where we so cooped up in the house where we don't even know nature no more. And that's what communism took from us. It make we go to work every day. We go to work. We go home. We focus on what's on TV. We focus on all the wrong things, and then what's outside. And what's outside is your nature. Your nature that will always been here before everything we the houses we living in, the TV we watch, it always been here. We need to get back to nature. And that's socialism. You know what I'm saying? Like nature is free. Your apple's free. Your own everything that you could grow in the garden is free. And it's not pesticide or none of that stuff that they spraying on it. So I'm just saying we need to go back to that time, and that's a social time. Like we really need to go back to a time where we could survive for our own, when we don't need to be up under one government that's telling
Sadly,
us.
I gotta cut you now because we're actually about out of time. Sadly, I did want Caleb to give more comments on capitalism because really, technically, the two are the competing beliefs in America right now, if not already trying to coincide at the same time. But, you know, sadly, that is all the time we have for today. I don't have an outro, but you can donate to us on Patreon, and you can see the aftermath of this video, you know. But until then, you know, peace out. Good night, everybody.
We out.